So hello everyone, today we're taking a look and review at the American Freedom Train. Now this train is decked out with red, white, and blue, looks very quite nice, and here is the front of the train. I have to be very careful because it's such a big train. I have to keep it on some track. And anyway, and let's look at the train cars that we'll be using today for it. We have this Amtrak passenger car built in with LED lights. And if you look close enough, you can actually see real passenger, I guess like the passenger seats in the car. With the door on the outside that connects, and then 3 metal wheels, which you need to lube up every once in a while. And that's amazing how that works right there. You see, it goes with the wheels, and it's connected to its own. And then we have the other Amtrak one, the end of the train. Very nice and smooth train. I like this one a lot. It's Amtrak again, yes. Another door again, and there's no seats in there, but there is metal wheels, and it's very nice train. I recommend getting this one if you do have the money. Now let's move right on into this train. I shall personally show you the controller. Now, number 4 on mine is American Freedom, which is AF, which stands for American Freedom. Now, once you get your train programmed, or once you first buy your train, it's going to be 3, and it will always be 3. So let's press number 10, and let's move on out. Now, it is currently on silent because the noise is quite loud, and I have visitors sleeping at the moment. So, let's get back to the station. But like I said, this is my most expensive train at $250 for this train. Now, it's one of Bachmann's very well-known trains. It's probably one of their most expensive. And yeah, let's just stop right here, pick up the passengers. Now, $250 is pretty well priced for this train. Now, it is currently going up because they're not making that many anymore. And the passenger cars in the background, the first one, which has the lights inside of it, is $40. The next one, the one behind it, is $30. Now, let's just move right on out so we can see our train fly. Now, as we decide to run this very beautiful train, it took quite a while. This one I got for Christmas, and I have been officially into the HO scale. The HO scale trains for 3 years now. At first, when you first start out with your trains, it's going to be very hard. Remember, trains are a lovely thing. Trains take your mind off. Trains is a good hobby. Remember, trains are good things. So yes, trains tend to take mind off and take your ease. The reason why not many kids in these days are not interested in the trains as well, because, well, there's just, it costs money. There's quite a bit of money to spend on trains, even though they're very good. And let me zoom in on. What a very beautiful day with this train and the very beautiful trees in the background. And as they move down towards the gate crossing, now the firefighter is still there from last time, but as we still taking those passengers cruising along, we have to pick up speed because we want those passengers to be in there on time. Alright, so now, as we proceed on from where we were at, where was I? Oh yeah, not many kids want to be in the trains because usually not many kids are in the trains. That's why, the other reason why, and because they cost so much money. Now I have these 4 trains of mine, which cost close to $1,000 for all 4 of them. Now for this layout, it's probably cost quite a bit for this layout. The train layout that I usually go to is worth over $100,000 to build. With labor, $100,000. As we slowly stop to the station, we first drop off our first passengers in Amtrak, which hopefully had a good drive. And as we go on to our next one, we have the other Amtrak one, and hopefully our passengers had a good drive too. Now remember, when you buy your trains, make sure you pick out the right scale, and make sure you know what scale you're picking up. If there's a train that you like, make sure you look at the bottom of the details to see what train it is. If you're not sure, search up the train on the internet, and then type in whatever scale you want. Now, me as preferring the best scale, this is so far medium scale, which is in the middle, is HO scale. Then there's HO scale narrow gauge, which HO scale narrow gauge is pretty much in-scale track that has been used to run HO scale cars. So I'm going to move in and back in over here. So where was I? Oh yes, HO scale narrow gauge is... So yes, HO scale is a very good scale because it's kind of in the middle. It's not too big. G scale is a very big train. Now, if you want big, then you're going to want to go G scale, because that is the biggest one. If you kind of want one that's not too big, but just in the size big, then go O scale. Then if you kind of don't want that scale, if you want one a little smaller, then why don't you just go S scale? And then after S scale, then you might as well just go HO scale. If you want one a little smaller than HO scale, then go on HO scale narrow gauge. If you're not happy with HO scale, or HO scale narrow gauge, and you want something smaller, go to N scale. And if N scale does not suit your needs, then go to Z scale. And then after that Z scale, then if you don't like Z scale, then that's pretty much all the trains that are pretty much left in scales that you can buy. They have the briefcase size scale, which you can fit in your briefcase, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you for tuning in today on the Dylan's Train Show. Appreciate it, and hope to see you soon.